never made it, but I know what it takes. I'm motivated by a mix of emotion. Got my statement, and I'm reading it slow so I can understand it fully. Appreciate my standing, go out of this world and right on time. Oh, never in my life have I seen the sky light up like this. I'm far away from Earth and I wanna know if you exist. Mission control, do you read me? Send me my coordinates lately. Mission control, am I drifting? Tie me to someone who will love me, yeah. Wait, I think I'll last a bit longer. Find another.
Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd family YouTube video. Wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd family a part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. This is one of those days where honestly, really, truly, I wasn't sure what I wanted to talk about in today's video until yesterday. I was talking to my man Mike, who of course is a Georgia Tech fan, and we were talking about the upcoming football season, and he asked me if I thought Georgia Tech was going to win more than 3 games, and I said, yeah, they might win 6. And honestly, when I told him that, I had not even looked at Georgia Tech's schedule. But if you recall, back last year, they fired Geoff Collins in the middle of the season. And after they fired him, they played a lot better and almost made it to a bowl game last year. So I just said that thinking if they almost got there last year, and this year, Geoff Collins is not going to coach at all, they can get there. So, late last night, after I left Alternative Pro Wrestling and came home, before bed, I was looking at Georgia Tech's upcoming football schedule, and I said, well, you know what? I'm already looking at it, so let's make that my Saturday video. So, as I always do, I'll tell you their 13-week, 12-game schedule, and then I will tell you how many games I think they'll win and how many games I think they'll lose. They open up on a Friday, September the 1st against Louisville. So they're opening the season in conference play. It used to be, back in the day, almost all the time in all the conferences, you opened up with a non-conference game. But it seems like more and more now you're seeing teams play a conference game in week 1 and then go out of conference in week 2. Georgia Tech is doing the same thing, because after Louisville in week 1 and week number 2 on Saturday, September the 9th, they're playing South Carolina State. And then another non-conference game, Ole Miss, on the 16th. The 23rd of September, Wake Forest. And on September the 30th, they play the Falcons of Bowling Green. Open up the month of October on the 7th against the Miami Hurricanes. Then they're off in week number 7. So they play 6 games. They're off, and then they play 6 more games. So they're off right smack dab in the middle of their season. Come back in week number 8, game number 7 on the 21st against Boston College. Wrap it up the month of October, Halloween weekend on the 28th against North Carolina. Opening up November, on November the 4th, they play the Virginia Cavaliers. And then week number 11, on the 11th of November. Game number 10, they play Clemson. And then they play Syracuse on the 18th. And then wrapping up the regular season, as always, of course, on Thanksgiving weekend on the 25th against Georgia. So as I look at their schedule, personally, I think they beat Louisville. Now we have to remember that Louisville has a brand new head coach. I actually think they got a pretty good head coach. I think they made a pretty good swap by letting Satterfield leave because I think Brom is going to be a good coach, but I don't think Louisville is going to be any good to start the season. So I think Georgia Tech actually beats Louisville. If they were playing Louisville in November, I'd probably go with Louisville. But since they're playing them in week 1 and they've got a brand new system and a brand new coach, I'll go with Georgia Tech. Then they win week number 2 against South Carolina State. And I think they beat Bowling Green. And then back in conference, I think they beat Boston College, Virginia, and Syracuse. So in the conference, they beat Louisville, Boston College, Virginia, and Syracuse. So that's 4-4 in the ACC. Outside of the conference, they beat South Carolina State and Bowling Green. So I've got them at 4-4 in the ACC, 6-6 overall. They might sneak up and beat somebody else, but I'll have to see as the season goes on if that's possible or not, because with them having a not brand spanking new head coach, but pretty new first full season, we'll have to see how it goes. But I personally think they go 4-4 in the conference, 6-6 overall, which would be a drastic improvement from what they've been for pretty much the last 4 years. Any thoughts on this, as always, please feel free to let me know. Homes for Our Troops is a publicly funded 501c nonprofit organization that builds and donates specially adapted custom homes nationwide for severely injured post 9/11 veterans. Since the 2004 inception, nearly 90 cents of every dollar spent has gone directly to our program services for veterans. Visit at hfotusa.org. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. What did one candy bar say to the other candy bar? I've got some Twix up my sleeve. And that does it for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.